Okay. We will call the meeting of the Irvington Architecture Review Board to order. This is Monday, July 22nd. And I would remind everybody that when we ask you to present your case, you share your computer screen and raise your hand if you have any issues or questions. And at this point, we are still waiting for one more board member. We will start without that person. At this point, normally we would do the revisions first. But due to the potential length of that particular application, we will start and do the new matters first, starting with new matter 2024-45. Let's see. And that's Pennybridge Manor, Sunnyside.
You're here to represent the application. Can you please hit the raise hand button? Nobody's raising their hand.
Okay. All right, we'll move along. We will go to ARB 24-46.
Somebody did raise their hand.
Somebody did? Is it the right?
I'm not sure.
You want to ask him? See who it is?
Oh, I'm letting them in and then we
Oh.
can ask them. I can listen.
Hello, this is Anne from Pennybridge.
Yes, hi.
how
You're
are
here to
you?
represent? Okay, you're here to represent the sign?
I am here to represent its sign. There is another board member who's supposed to be joining that has the presentation. I can verbally walk you through a few things while I wait for her.
Okay, why don't we try that?
Basically, the sign that we have at Pennybridge is the original sign from the construction, which was around 1980. So it has not been replaced over the years. We have just painted it, you know, to make it sort of look a little bit better. And we did pursue a proposal with a sign company to have the sign replaced. It is still going to stand on the same base that it has, so it's really not going to be that much larger. We chose colors that were, you know, very soft colors, earth tone colors. If you know Pennybridge, the complex is kind of a brown with a lot of trees around it. So we chose kind of earth tone colors and felt that it was time that the sign, we really couldn't repaint it anymore. Aesthetically, the sign really needed to be replaced.
Okay, when you say colors, I did look at the application and saw basically two main colors with a different color background. When you
Okay.
say colors, you scare us because we don't like our signs to be multicolored.
It's not multicolored. I should explain that. It's sort of like a dark rim on the outside, let's say sort of an earth green as like the background-ish, and then kind of like a brown for the writing. It is not a multicolored sign. It just says Pennybridge Manor.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Who else who's supposed to be making the presentation for you? Because nobody's
She,
raising their hand.
Gina Sipos just texted me and she said she's unable to get on the site.
All right.
What materials are the sign made of? Is it a metal sign,
No,
plastic sign?
it's the existing sign is made of wood, and this is also made of wood. It will also be two-sided, as is the original sign, so that you can see it from either direction.
Sorry.
And it's the same height as the existing sign, same approximate size and height.
Yes, and it's the same, like the platform that it's on, it's going to sit on the same platform, correct?
I think that sounds fine.
Sarah,
Rocco.
could you share that application for us so we can look at it real quick and just approve it? I don't have any issues with it.
We're gonna try to pull up the presentation on our computer here, if you could just bear with us for a minute.
Not a problem. She said, Gina just said she hears everything, but no one can hear her. Let me just see.
I tried to promote her as a panelist and she declined. I can't tell who the person is because your names are not present on the screen. So I'll promote her again, but she has to
Okay.
accept her.
I'll tell her. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
We see her now.
Okay.
We don't see.
Gina,
Physically,
unmute yourself.
Unmute. So sorry.
All right.
Do you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I just, I didn't know what the heck, was going on here. Okay. Do you want me to share my screen and I can show you the
Yes.
different
Yes,
sizes,
please.
color and everything?
That would be great.
Yep.
Okay, so just bear with me quickly. Share my screen. Got it. Okay. Can you see my presentation?
We can.
Okay, so let me,
All we need to see is the actual sign.
You can go down
were-
to the actuals. Yeah. The last number 5.
well, actually, though, I was just going to describe how we looked at all the different signs in the local area and how we came up with our sign. And then it shows this
That's
basically.
the one that's probably the one they want to see.
Correct.
Yes, it is.
And it's pretty much the same size as the existing sign. It's a little bit shorter in height with maybe 2 extra inches on the side or, 2 on each side. And it fits on the same base. And if you give me a second, I can get to the proof. And here's the proof, the proof from, do you see that, this screen?
No.
Yeah.
The screen with the actual proof from the,
No, we just see slide number 3.
okay. How do I'm not sure how, I could,
Click on the frame that you want to show us.
okay.
Is it one of these slides, 1 to 5?
No, it isn't. It's a different frame altogether.
Then you have to get out of this presentation and go to a different one because you're still
It's
sharing
not
your
necessary.
computer.
It's not necessary.
So,
If this isn't a sign, so we'll, as far as I'm concerned, I've seen the sign on the application. It's so similar to what you have. I don't have any issues. I'll ask the rest of the board if they have any issues.
No issues.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
we
Good to go.
appreciate your cooperation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank
problem.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we will go to, we have actually two presentations from the same location. ARB 24-46 siding. It's 86 Hillside Terrace siding.
Hello, can you guys hear us?
Ken, how we doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
Okay,
So, like you said, we have 2 applications. I think at this time, we only want to discuss the window application. I think we'd like to move forward with that first before we just make a final decision on the siding. If we could just discuss the windows today.
so the other one is not going to be discussed at all tonight.
There's so many moving factors on the exterior of the house. We want to make sure that we're making decisions once we see something complete.
We're not sold on exactly which color we would like to.
The product we
with,
can
yeah.
discuss if you'd like to, but the color we're not 100% sure.
We'll do the whole application at one time, so we will table ARB 24-46, and I think we're going to 24-47, the windows.
Yes. So I can share. Oh gosh, where did it go? I think it's this. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's the privacy is off.
Sorry, bear with us.
No problem.
Jeez.
Share the whole screen.
Okay, there we go. Can you see? This is the spec sheet. Sorry. The spec sheet for the window replacement.
I think he wanted to do the first.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's all right. I said, I think he wanted to do the siding first. He was not in agreement with the windows. Anyway, that would be the dog
Yeah.
I'm referring.
Yeah, he's mad at me. So yeah, we're replacing the majority of all of the top floor windows and of some of the main floor windows. Most of them are in kind. There was one, I think you guys had comments for the casement windows.
Actually, two.
Yes,
there's
two
two.
of the same window, which we added the grills to.
You did.
Yes. Yeah, and then everything else remains the same based on those comments.
Okay. You want to go, do you have any elevations of the house? You could show us where these windows are? I know you did on the application. I don't know whether or
Yeah.
not you haven't.
Yes, let me just quit and reshare. It's gonna give me a problem. Can you see my desktop?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So this is one set of the windows. We're gonna do the twin awning with colonial grills here. This is the front of the house. This is remaining, this is remaining. These will be replaced with colonial windows to match.
Right.
This is the south east.
That's one of the little windows in question.
Yes, so it will be replaced in kind with the same grill style. Same with this, but there were no comments on this one.
Yep.
This is the side of the house. They'd be replaced with the colonial style up here. Same with these. This is to remain for now. Not sure how it got there, but it is there. And then this was the other one with the comments for the grill, which we've added the grill back in. This will replace with another double hung, and then the rest will stay for now and just get spruced up.
Okay.
I think that was it. Yep.
For the record, for the board, I had questioned that the only two windows in the whole house that were not going to be of similar grill match was those two small windows, and I had asked whether that would be an issue to make them that way. So this way, every window in the house is going to look the same. And they graciously agreed to make it that way, and I appreciate that. Anybody have any questions, concerns?
I think it's gonna be a nice improvement, having all these windows look the same.
I agree.
Yes.
Very
Chipping
cool.
away.
Little- Neat to see what you continue to do with it.
Thank you.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I
Thank you.
Good to go.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
The dog says thanks too, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay. We will now go to 24-48 55 Havemeyer Road, windows.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, David Barbuti, architect, representing, the Zolkins at 55 Havemeyer. If I may share my screen,
Please.
can you see that?
Not yet. There it is.
Okay. So what we have here tonight is, existing 1950s postmodern house. The windows are original to the house and they plan on replacing them with as best style as they can find. Is a black aluminum frame, with insulated glass panels. They will be replacing the kitchen, the new dining area, the window in the bathroom.
You're breaking up. We're not hearing you.
Door in the bedroom number 3.
Would you please repeat that last part of it? We didn't grab it.
So we are replacing windows in the kitchen, the dining room, a bathroom window, and bedroom number 3. And hopefully you can see, I have the existing south elevation and a proposed south elevation, just to show some of the minor differences in the window styles. Presently, the window in bedroom 3 is a full-size sliding glass door. So the owners are opting to go with a man door and a solid panel on that. Similarly, in the dining room, same scenario. It's a sliding glass door. They want to get more light in the back of the house, so they're opting with a man door and a full panel glass. And kitchen, existing are small sliding windows. They want to go with a larger fixed frame. Any questions?
Nothing for this view. Was there anything else that is being changed?
That's it for now.
Okay. Okay, I didn't see anything. I didn't have any issues. Anybody on the board have any questions, concerns?
No,
No,
Okay. I will then make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Good to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I think if on never gets here, there'll be one left. Okay. Now we were going into ARB 24-49. 4 Fargo Lane, exterior elevation change. Evan?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, good, thanks. My name is Salah Foda, Foda. I'm with JMR Engineering for Fargo Lane owners. What we're doing is replacing, hold on. On the southwest corner and the west corner of the house, we are replacing the patio glass doors and glass panels. So in the south side here, we're basically taking out the doors, taking out these doors on each side, and we have fixed glass panels with double sliding door in the middle. And the posts would be moving in line with the exterior lines of the house. I mean, the upper level exterior lines.
Yeah.
And all the trims would be basically the same size and color. It's basically, we are eliminating swinging doors with fixed panels, and we unifying the access doors to the patio with only two doors, two double sliding doors. That's on the south side.
Okay,
And on the west side here, we're basically replacing the doors and panels with fixed panels. And you can tell from the elevation, there is not that much difference in character or style. So basically, the new elevation is unifying the look of the house with concentration on the center of the elevation for the double sliding doors here. Then on the west side, we basically have the picture windows instead of swinging windows with multiple glass panels. So everything stays the same as far as the trims, the colors, and we staying within the same overall character of that existing elevations.
could you zoom into the lower right elevation? I'm just trying to get an idea what what that door is gonna look like. Yeah, that one.
This one, yeah.
Could you-
Okay.
Yeah, could you zoom into that? The other one's pretty clear.
This one's.
Okay,
So basically, you get these are two doors sliding on each side, and these are fixed panels. Picture, fix, and picture, and only the one in the center, the two doors sliding.
okay. And just go over to your left while you have it zoomed in and look at the other side of the house. Okay, Yep.
So we replaced the multiple, the existing now you got a swinging door, a panel, a swinging panel, a swinging panel, a swinging panel. So basically replacing those with fixed panels. There is no need for those multiple doors.
right.
So it's a more simple and less kind of dizzying look in a way.
Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Looks like it's, the right thing to do at on that corner for sure. Okay. Anything else
Yeah,
to show us?
The window specs, the doors specs are here,
Mhm.
which confirm with the energy codes. That's basically it for now.
I didn't have any other questions. Anybody on the board?
No,
No question.
No questions? Okay, that having been said, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good evening.
Moving right along, ARB 2024-50, 2 Deep Hollow Close. Also an exterior elevation change.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Matthew Behrens. I am the architect representing the Munitz residents, 2 Deep Hollow Close. I will jump right to my screen share. Well, let me start here. So, let me know if you can see this.
Yep.
This is the property, outlined in yellow. At the end of a cul-de-sac, Deep Hollow Close, kind of backs up onto, Ardsley Country Club. It is a very steep slope, coming down off of that hill, that's part of the golf course. I will go here. You can see by these contours, this is where that hill kind of slopes down into the back of the residence. There's a couple of retaining walls along here. And what the application is for is to make some modifications to the existing deck to reduce the coverage of the deck. And also this piece here to remove part of that deck so that we can create a square corner. To put the hot tub here, provide a small gravel base around the hot tub. It's a prefabricated, self-contained hot tub. I do have an elevation of it, which I will show. So that's one part of the application. The second part of the application is that there's an existing stockade fence and gates that are here and here on the north side and the south side that require modifications. The modifications are major. It's basically the same style fence. We just have to make a couple of small modifications to comply with the barrier requirements. Third piece is this. We have to enclose the barrier. So what we're proposing to do is install a chain link fence, basically following the pattern, the path of this stone retaining wall. And again, I'll show you some pictures in a second, with a black vinyl chain link fence. That the idea is that it kind of recedes. It's very vegetated, the top of the wall. We want to install a fence to comply with the barrier requirements for the pool. And the idea is, again, that the vegetation will grow naturally around it, and the fence will just recede into the background. This is a cleaner look of it without the contours, so you can see we're picking up where the stockade fence ends at the retaining wall. The retaining wall continues into the north property, the neighbor's property, and then we will pick that up and continue the fence along down to this south side and return it back across this retaining wall where it completes the barrier with this gate. I will jump to the photos. Let me know when you can see this.
We can see the.
Okay, so this is the elevation of the deck. The photographs show there's a couple of different pieces of the deck. There's this area here and then this lower area. This is the part where we're gonna square this off, and then the hot tub is basically gonna sit right here, right in this corner. These other pictures show, whoops, I don't know why I can't get there. So this is an idea of what the stockade fences look like. Again, the modifications are minor. It's still going to look the same. It's still going to have the same finish. This is on the north side where I said before, we're picking up that fence, and then this is that stone retaining wall. So the black chain link fence is going to go follow the path of this stone retaining wall, and again, allowing the vegetation to grow around it and have it just disappear into the background.
How high is that fence?
5 feet to comply with the barrier requirements.
So it's sitting at above the height of that stone wall.
Correct.
Is it part of the stone wall?
No, it's going to be back. It's going to be behind these trees, and it's going to continue along that path of the wall. It's going to follow the path of the wall, but it's going to be behind the trees. It's going to be set back.
And no problem with the existing fencing applying to the local codes for pools?
Well, like I said, since you mentioned it, we have some issues that these are the modifications. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. So this is one of the existing stockade fences that has to be modified. because this vertical element, the horizontal element here and this horizontal element are too close together. So what we're doing is raising these up, sort of typically about 6 inches so that they comply with the barrier requirements. I can also show I don't know if you can see it, but the neighbor to the north here, they also have a black vinyl chain link fence that sits on the wall. So essentially, we're going to pick that up and carry it all the way around the backside of the property.
Okay. Anything else needs to be discussed?
I think that's about it. I did have a sketch here just to show. Let me just take a look at this one. This will show, some of the modifications to the fence that I talked about. These shaded areas show where we're moving those horizontal members up. And then some of the gates that are existing. And then this is the black chain link fence.
Okay. Is that existing, that gate? Or that's gonna be representative of what the new gates are gonna look like?
It's a little of both. So I'll go back to this picture. So this is what the gate looks like right now. This is the one on the south side. The one on the north side is compliant, but this one is not. It's only 4 feet high. So we're going to match it, and it's just going to be a 5 foot high fence. It's going to be the exact same fence and gate, only a foot higher. This one's only 4 feet high.
That's what I thought. That's why I asked. Okay. Anything else we need to know?
I think that's it. Again, for the most part, we're matching what's there. And this will be a nice little improvement. I think, we kind of pushed back on the building department and the planning board about having to provide the barrier fence, but it is a state code requirement that we have to comply with.
Right. Okay.
Are you adding a pool also, or just the hot tub?
Just a hot tub, but for New York State code, pool and hot tub are basically the same thing.
Yeah, okay,
Any other questions?
no. Looks
Randy?
good.
Nope. Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. All right. Last of the new matters, 24-51. 9 Meadow Way. It's an addition.
Hey, good evening.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Good, Mr. James. How are you?
Good. How you been?
Good.
Good. Yes, it's James Kraft from Studio Park representing Lauren and Dan from 9 Meadow Way. This is a project that's gone through the planning board. It's a proposed addition to an existing mid-century style split level. And what we're proposing is essentially the exterior addition and a change to all of the exterior finished materials. And I'll present my screen now. Guys see a white screen? Yes?
We do.
Yep. So let me just orient you a little quickly. So this is 9 Meadow Way off Harriman, just a couple doors in. It's a small ish existing split level mid-century. Right now it's all aluminum clad siding, mostly uninsulated windows. So what we're proposing here is a change to a lot of the windows to an insulated glass unit, black or very, very dark steel gray, depending upon the final finish. We're still pricing that out, but I'll show you what it looks like. And we're proposing a new siding to clad the entirety of the building, and an addition that is being proposed onto what is essentially the north side of the property. So I'll let me just walk you quickly through the site plan. So what you can see here, this is the existing split level. And the proposed addition that we're adding is this portion to the north. And we're taking over the existing stone patio for a proposed addition out the rear as well. So, and I'll show you existing condition pictures that'll help clarify that in a second. So this is just demo plan, removing all the existing aluminum siding. So what you can see here is this is the new addition, which is a garage and a primary suite above. Garage, primary suite above, trying to make space for new little ones in the family. And then this kitchen addition out the rear. So the elevations are pretty explanatory, but I'll show you the model. It's probably easier to understand. So this is just a kind of a before and a proposed for each portion of the addition and the materials. So this you can see, this is the Meadowway street side elevation here. We're trying to keep the bulk of the massing. So that is essentially this right here. So we're adding on this portion here and extending the existing roof line. We're replacing all of the windows. These are uninsulated units with these new windows. We're covering a portion of this mass with, I'll show you the material in a second. It's essentially a PVC vertical cladding to mimic a mahogany of sorts. And then the rest of the siding that you see is gray is a steel gray hardy plank, lap siding. And that's essentially replacing the vinyl. We're also proposing a light gray stucco to the existing brick base and the existing chimney. So that's what you can see here is the stucco. So this is street side. This is the southwest corner. This is the proposed southwest corner looking northeast. Here's the rear yard. This is the existing stone patio. What we're doing is we're extending the roof line over that patio with the new kitchen. And then you can see, here's that old roof line. We're extending here with that new massing. And then here's the new garage mass here. And if I keep going around, it's just rolling around the building. You can see this is the new kitchen entry and deck. Stucco on the existing base to get rid of this CMU cladding. It's kind of haphazard. Again, lap siding around to the new garage. And then this is the materials that I've been discussing. So this is a new tech wood mahogany look siding. The deck is proposed as timber tech, essentially Trex for lack of a better term, mahogany for the decking. This steel gray hardy plank lap siding. The roof is going to be oyster gray asphalt shingle to mimic what the existing is. The entire roof needs to be replaced. Again, a light gray stucco. And then a really, really dark black trim and dark black window frame, which potentially could become a steel gray depending upon the vendor. We're pricing out two alternatives right now, and we haven't 100% finalized, but it will be a very, very dark frame as proposed. And that is the bulk of the proposal, mostly new cladding and new massing. So I can walk you through the elevations in more detail if you have any questions, but that was the quick pitch. So
it appears that the roof line is being raised on the side of the exhaust from the other side.
it's the other side. So this, for frame of reference, is where the building stops right now. You can see this dashed line. So we're continuing that roof line there and then putting an alternate mass going the other direction that way. So like if you,
The right hand side of the drawing, yes, go back to that.
oh, sorry.
One more. You go. That's not it. You did just pass it. That one.
Okay.
It looks like the new, the new roof line is coming up the chimney. Is that my imagination or is this just the way
Coming
you,
up the.
meaning the roof is being raised in that area?
No. This roof is the same roof
Okay.
till here. So you see this till here. And then,
Yeah, but the two photos below that on the bottom. One looks like the gray looks like it's, the roof is at a lower level on that,
that's
chim.
not the intent.
Okay.
I think that's just the model. It's maybe not perfect.
Okay, no
No,
problem.
this roof, we're trying not to move this roof at all. So,
Okay,
or change the chimney for that matter, just reclad it. Oh, maybe what you're seeing is, we are demolishing or proposing demolishing this little extension, which was like a firewood storage or something. So this is getting higher in perception. But it's actually just, we're removing this superfluous posts here. So maybe
Okay.
that's the difference in the two models. This is basically unused patio space that we removed to comply with planning board coverage.
no issues. Okay, I don't think I had any other questions. Anybody?
Looks great.
No, nothing here.
All right, well, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Have a good evening and hopefully see you soon.
You too. All right. And last but not least, we go to the revision, ARB 2018-06. 30-40 South Broadway. Exterior elevation changes.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Jason Gottlieb with Toll Brothers.
How we
We're
doing?
just waiting on one more
Okay.
to join us. We've got Zach has joined us. Zach heads up our architecture group in-house with Toll Brothers and works with all of our third-party architects. I head up our community planning department for the New York Metro Division, which is Westchester, Dutchess, Putnam, and counties in Connecticut. So appreciate the ARB's time this evening. Toll Brothers closed on this parcel back in March of this year. Previously, the prior developer was in here a few years ago to receive ARB approval and subsequent site plan approval for the job. Our land development group has been working on the project, putting in utilities and eager to break ground on vertical construction here. As part of our review of the project, we've noticed that the ARB approval did not align with the site plan approval in terms of the building heights for this community. And we've met with Ed a few times to kind of go through this and discuss best path forward here. And as part of those conversations, we've submitted this revised ARB package tonight for your review, which modifies some of the roof pitches for the community and the duplex and three-pack building, as well as the affordable units to comply with the required building height. So I will share my screen here with you, go through that. So this is our site plan. 26 lots are on the screen here. There are 6 affordable units, which are in the middle of the screen, 19 and 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, which are stacked. Affordable units, the rest are single-family townhome style units, lots 3 and 4, which is in the top center of the screen. Previously received a building permit and was started by the previous developer, which is currently at roof. We're not looking to make any revisions to that building as it's existing and already standing. So we're in tonight to revise the balance of the lots here. So 1 through 26, and excluding lots 3 and 4. So this is the duplex units, excluding the walkout, which we'll get to in a minute. So bottom right here, it's lots 1 and 2, 5, 6, 10, 11, 16, 17, 25, 26. We've modified the roof height here to meet the building height requirement. It still kind of evokes the previous ARB approval that the previous developer received, but this meets the requirement.
And the height of that roof is?
From finished floor? I'm sorry, I missed the question. The height from finished floor?
Yes. I guess it's on the right side.
We are 29 feet 8 inches.
Say again?
29 feet 8 inches.
All right, which is within the code. The only buildings that I saw that were outside of the code were the ones that face south. When you have the 3rd story walkout or the basement walkout, at that point, the height is over 37 feet.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So based on the site plans that were prepared by JMC and the grading and table that was inclusive of that site plan approval, existing versus proposed, you have to take the lower of the two. And in doing so, what was presented previously and approved by the ARB did not meet that requirement.
I'm not really sure what you're telling me here.
So the previous architecture, right, when you take in the lower of existing versus proposed grade, based on that calculation, which is how you determine the building height here, the architecture that was previously approved exceeded that 30-foot threshold for several of the lots, including the non-walkout lots, which is why
Isn't this a
we're
building
in tonight.
I mean, a planning board issue, the height of a building?
I can't speak for that. You have to call them Ed.
Did
Yeah,
the building department say go back to planning?
No.
No. Okay. So how did you change the height to meet the lower overall building height?
We
What
changed the roof pitch. So Zach, maybe you want to speak to that a little bit better than I can.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah, I mean, I have on my screen that the previous, the approved architecture from 3 or 4 years ago.
It's 2018.
2018, okay, 6 years ago, which you can see looks very much like what Jason was just presenting. And so
this is the previous approval. So
right.
we're at 31 feet here, and it was a 14 to 12, and I think we're 12, 11 now on the Model A diagram that's being shown. So we lowered the roof height by about 1.5 feet or so.
Well, what we noticed is that it was maybe tight on more than just those walkout lots that you all are asking about, which is
in large part why we lowered the roof pitch in the new design. The aesthetic is effectively the same. It's still got the gables on the side. It's still got that kind of sloped gable in the middle, same windows and garage doors, etc. But the front to back pitch was lowered, which is the most noticeable change, which bought us that extra foot and a half or so that we're talking about. So this is what we were proposing for every lot except the walkouts at this point.
And the affordable.
Sorry, and the affordables.
Yeah. So I'll keep going. This is the walkout buildings that we were talking about, lots 12 and 13, 14 and 15. As you indicated, this exceeded the height by an even greater threshold, so we had to be a little bit more creative for this building to meet that height requirement. So these two units have we're 27 feet 4 inches from finished floor to roof peak. And we added, I don't think, or let me correct myself, I don't believe the previous developer ever went in front of ARB for these 4 units. And they may have gotten this ARB approval based on.
Not in their present form, they didn't.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep kind of similar feel to the rest of the townhomes that are planned here and proposed here, and we're eager to get started on. But in order to, again, to meet that height requirement, we had to be a little bit more creative with these 4 units.
So what changed on the 4 units? Just the roof pitch again?
Correct.
But are you not still showing it at over 37 feet?
No, we're from finished floor to the roof peak, we're 27.4.
That's
Well,
that's
go to the
From the garage, and then on the back of the building, we are 34.6.
I saw 37. Maybe I was reading it wrong.
I think what happened, and we submitted an update to this specific sheet. If that's not the one you're looking at, that could be the confusion. The second part of what we did here that Jason is saying is creative is sort of with the grading, not necessarily the architecture, which is to say that the rear is partially buried, which is what you're seeing on the back there. Is that, you know, the rear, the slab, the basement slab is lower than the elevation grade at the rear. And so the roof line combined with that grading is allowing us to meet that threshold.
Could you slide over to the right a little bit? And tell me what that, keep going. Yeah, what that dimension on the far right dimension, you're gonna need to slide up. I'm sorry, go down.
This is 34.6.
All right, what about on the other side?
I believe it marries it. It's a mirror image of the plan. They're both 34.6.
The dimension of the far right dimension that you're showing on that drawing right now.
This is 34.6 on the right, and on the left is also 34.6. It's a duplex unit where one is the mirror image of the other plan.
It must have been on the second set of plans that I didn't see, because that, in my mind, that was 37 and change. What I remember seeing. Could you zoom in on that to prove me wrong? I'm not interested in that dimension. Please go to the right.
You're correct that the version we submitted, I guess, July 1st or 2nd, did say 37 and and change. And that is in large part why we adjusted the grading, as you're seeing there, and kind of the roof line. So, and if apologies if you hadn't received that update that we're showing you right now.
Do you have the original set of drawings that you sent?
I believe they're posted to the link. I don't have them in front of me, but I know both sets of drawings are posted to the ARB website because I was looking at that this evening.
Sarah, could you open the original drawings? The original set of drawings you sent? I just want to see what the difference is between the original and what we're looking at now.
Original from what Toll submitted, or original from what the previous developer submitted?
Oh,
Okay.
The one from their first submission?
yeah,
or the one-
their first submission. Does he need to stop sharing?
Yes.
Could you please stop sharing for a moment? Thanks.
The revision to an application that's 6 years old. Okay.
How that's possible, I don't know, but
That's,
I think the development changed hands, didn't it?
no, I mean, like, how could it be 6 years old?
it was supposed to be a year old, the application. If you don't start in a year, you gotta redo it. Is that it?
Have it up.
Yeah, could you look at the one that has 3 levels in the back? Keep going. Keep going. That one. Zoom over to the right, scooch over to the right. Tell me what that dimension is, the far right dimension. Could you zoom in? I can't see it.
At the time of the stop, so I.
All right, just go over to it so I can see if I can see it. Yeah. What's that dimension on the far right? Can somebody
It's
read
like
it?
37.
That's what I thought. All right, so to go forward, can somebody tell me what changed from this original drawing to the second set of drawings that were forwarded? Was it the roof line? Something must have changed if it's
The
3 feet.
roof didn't change. I mean, I'm happy to, if you scroll hand left and down slightly, you'll see those are your traditional walkout basements with the slider at basement, at walkout grade. And we revised the walkout architecture to kind of show a country basement where that slider is recessed below grade slightly, kind of over the walk up basement.
So you infilled or you sunk the whole building down?
Essentially, we sunk the building, the walkout back of the building, essentially to keep that grade higher. All right, I'll share my screen. I can probably see if I can screen share or screenshot that.
Stop sharing, please. We'll let you put your drawings back up.
Okay. So here's your finished grade. And here's your bottom basement slab.
So same question, you added dirt, how are you doing this? Or is the building going down in the front and the back?
No, the building. Right, because the average grade has to meet the threshold. So we've kind of raised grade while also lowering the basement slab.
I don't know how to say this.
We did sink the building, I guess, to some extent. There's like a, reverse driveway, that has to happen in part of doing that.
Yeah, which is part of the approved drawings for the site plan that shows that detail.
Yeah, I would also say you might have to kind of refer to what the approved site plan, so what drawings look like at this point.
Raised front.
No, in the pit.
Finished.
There's steps in the pit.
Yeah, and I see the lower back.
Right.
Finished
All right.
slab.
Well, that makes sense then. To me.
So you accomplished all this, but without changing windows, doors, anything like that?
Yeah, from the version you're looking at, it is the same, save for these back windows, the little square ones back there. The front elevation is slightly different than basically what the other lots are going to look like, because of how low the roof had to be pitched to even get to this point. But that is in the presentation you already have in your hands.
Okay. Could you go back to where I don't recall seeing a metal roof on any of these drawings originally? Can you, yeah, see that drawing there? Was that originally there? I don't recall that. Yeah. Above those two windows.
When do you mean originally?
In 2018.
It was not. I think Jason began to explain this earlier. The previous developer didn't necessarily develop architecture that was compliant with this grading. That's our understanding. He might be able to clarify.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Can you tell us what, if anything, else that's changed? I mean, I know on the gables, there were a bunch of gables that had two-sided curved lines. I see them now as curved on one side and straight on the other. I don't know if that's one of them, but you could look up at that one up there.
Yeah, let me see if I can do this side by side for you.
Yeah, that one's, I guess, I don't think that was one of them.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So originally approved is on the right from the previous developer 6 years ago, and our revision, it's in front of you today as well.
Okay.
And they're based on the lot numbers that were presented. This was inclusive of the walkout lots. I don't understand how that could work because there's no walkout detail here. And certainly the building height would have been way in excess of what's allowed based on the building height calculation. So I don't know how that was approved, but it doesn't work from a practical standpoint matter.
Okay.
So
Do you see where I'm referring to? Actually, this is not the area that I was referring to. There's another area that has those sloped, gradually sloped roof pitches.
There's no other area that I am aware of.
And this is the 3-pack unit, right? There's one building that's a triplex, if you will. And again, on the right is from 6 years ago, and on the left is our presentation today.
Could you, hold on a second, I want to get up.
Is there an eyebrow window added there? On the new version?
That was on the old.
Yeah, I knew I was nuts. See how this is sloped?
Yeah.
Both,
Yeah,
this is sloped here and straight.
This is the new?
Yeah. I'm not sure I don't agree with it, but I just noted it was.
Oh, no, that looks very odd. I think you have a mistake in your drawing.
You look above where it says model B on the right drawing,
Yep.
you see both sides of that peak are curved. Yeah, both sides of it, and then if you look over here, only the outside slopes are curved. That one, then it goes straight. I don't know why, but and I'm not adverse to it, I'm just saying.
well, and there's like a piece of trim or something in between the two sloped pieces that's now no longer there in the new drawings.
Eyebrows.
And that eyebrow window is gone in the new drawings. So it looks like there's been at least a handful of aesthetic changes in addition to just changing the slope of the roof and the walkout feature to accommodate the roof height. Right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
So I think if there are so many, you know, in our view, kind of significant aesthetic changes, that is what the ARB should be reviewing in this meeting. The building height is more of a building department question, right?
That's been my understanding.
Well,
So walk us through all of the aesthetic changes in the drawings versus 6 years ago, or are you not prepared to do that this evening?
I think we could attempt to do that.
I thought
The reason, I think the reason why we were told that this was an ARB, you know, the roof height portion, is because it, by nature, did change the aesthetic, you know, just by lowering the gables and some maybe more subtle things like that. Obviously, the metal roofs on the walkout units, which you've already talked about. If you want us to start to point out some of the other, you know, tweaks that we're proposing, I think we can probably.
I think just so we don't, you know, we better understand what it is that's happened to the original design, and because it was the original design that we approved, and if there are, you know, egregious changes in the design, we need to know about it. We may like them, we may not. It's just we really should know what they are before we, you know, bless them.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, Zach, I don't know if we can go through page by page and just call out some of those details so that the board has an understanding of what was previously approved and what is being shown tonight.
Yeah, I can, if you want me to present, I could probably put them side by side. Or I can. So the one at the bottom is the former, was formerly approved years ago, and now the one at the top is the one that we're presenting tonight. And trying to sync up the pages might be a little bit challenging, but I will do my best. You tell me if that's big enough to kind of understand the gist of it, and I'll do my best to walk you through it. So On the front elevations, the biggest thing you'll notice is the pitch of the gables, which is tied to the front to back pitch of the main roof, because it's tied to the pitch on the back gables. It's all the whole roof is sort of tied together a lot more than we've understood from the get-go. But that's at least on the front, that's all you're really going to notice.
Right.
And I'll keep moving. You tell me if you want me to stop and look at anything else. On the rears, there was this feature with the balcony that was something, you know, Toll Brothers doesn't necessarily have expertise in, and we wanted to not offer it. You know, it wasn't a real balcony. I think it was, you know, foot deep or the Juliet balcony type thing. So we just removed that feature and mirrored 2 units on the rear.
Okay.
And then obviously the, you know, the roof pitch as we talked about.
There's
And
like
then to
an
the-
there's like an extra triangular piece on that elevation now.
Small gable. Yeah.
Yeah, this sort of triangle piece, you know, there, is still there on this elevation. We've lost the part that sticks out right here. Once again, because we're just mirroring the same part. It's the rear elevation that's you know, not noticeable from the street, and then, you know, the interior is consistent as well at that point.
Okay.
And so this is the main unit. I think that's important to note. That's, you know, this is the one that's going to be repeated on 10 of the 12 buildings or something to that extent. You know, the walk. Sorry.
One question on the windows and doors. We approved a certain model of window and door. Are these being updated to the new energy code, and are they different materials, different door manufacturer and window manufacturer?
Jason, tell me if I'm mistaken on anything. What we are changing the manufacturer, but we have kept the divided light that was requested, that was documented in the previous submission. So, you know, when you look at the window, you've got the strip on the outside. It's not between the glass. And the garage door, it maybe looks more noticeably different in these 2 images. It's just a different manufacturer. I think the hatching, the vertical that you're seeing on the bottom is, we looked up the door manufacturer. It's not as noticeable in reality as it is even in 2 dimensions. So
Do we have door and window schedules on the plans?
we do not these drawings that we submitted, but we know what those manufacturers are. I can find it if you need us to find it.
Well, we normally don't approve anything unless the schedules are on the drawings. Kind of hold your feet.
Here we go. We have Wayne Dalton Arlington style garage door, so that is listed on there. I don't know if windows are noted anywhere, but they're, what are they? I guess they're Anderson in lieu of, forgive me, I don't remember what was actually approved in the first submission. It's not on this page. You're comfortable with that, and if there are follow-up questions, obviously we can, you know, respond.
Yeah, the color of the divided light, we're not changing. I'm looking at the previous approval. I don't see a manufacturer called out on the previous approval.
There was somewhere.
On the architectural drawings, I think it did call out a manufacturer. Once again, the design, the intent is the same.
Okay. Any other changes you need to show us?
On this main building, no.
Okay,
One question. I want to go back to Rick's question of these gable ends that are showing curved on one side and straight on the other. Can you explain why you're doing that?
Of that. Yeah, but in large part, those types of moves were made to increase the consistency across the entire neighborhood. And I don't necessarily mean that aesthetically, although maybe in part it is, but in terms of construction. So there were some features that, even though, you know, this is the same plan on the left and it's a mirror image on the right, and we're going to build that same plan on how, you know, the majority of the lots in this community, there were details like that that varied from building to building to building, depending on what it was next to. And we tried to streamline a lot of those things to streamline construction on our end.
But from an aesthetic point of view, why would you put curved on one side of a gable and straight on the other? It looks odd.
Sure. I'm not 100% sure I can answer that question beyond what I just did, which is just that it maybe from the surface it looked consistent, but what we were discovering is that, you know, this curve pitch and that curve pitch were different every time we were going to build it, which is
yeah, and I think too, we were trying to keep some consistency, what was already built with lots 3 and 4 already being standing and roofed, and kind of going back to what previously was approved and trying to kind of evoke that look with the curvature on the outside of the gable, but understand to Zach's point that from a constructability point, when you're mating these two units, you weren't always going to achieve that curvature on the two sides that merge each other.
okay. What else do you have for us? Changes?
If you're ready to move past this this building, I'll move on to the 3-pack.
Yes, please.
Right. Take a minute. There it is. So what you all noted a minute ago was that these two gables on the right side are now straight, which is the same conversation we're just having on the duplex version, which is just that to marry them together in any kind of consistent manner. That was the way to do it for us. Beyond that, we mentioned that I'm not even sure what to call it, the dormer on that middle unit is gone. Same thing I already mentioned about the doors and the windows are consistent, and that is, I mean, it's all that I'm noticing, and I think that's all that I remember changing as well. You know what? The front door on this unit is was different than what was shown on the sides of the other unit. I'm not sure if we have the side. Yeah, this was sort of a panel over panel with the side lights, which is what we've continued to use, but that's not necessarily what was shown on the front. So we're just using the same door type on that unit as is used on the end units.
All right.
Ready to go and move on?
Yes, please.
Okay, we can take a look at the rear of those units if you want. I think that's a little bit less noticeably different. Mainly just the roof pitch on the side gables, the terrace portion on one side or the other, as I had mentioned earlier. That's the only intentional changes that are happening here. And then the other sort of hybrid things that are happening are, if I can find it here, when we have the affordable units, that might be it. Yeah. That's the affordable unit type. So the most noticeable difference here, besides that curved part in the middle that we keep seeing, is this way oversized window with shutters. Those are the only shutters in the whole community. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to us. So actually using the double windows, as you see in the top part, was more consistent with every other elevation in that community. So that was something we tried to do to improve it. And then the same thing, I guess, we're seeing with the doors, where they didn't match the main unit type, and so we matched it with that solid door. And on the rear of that, I don't know if there's anything really super noticeable on the rear of that unit. This door had a transom on it. There was a structural challenge just to actually do that. There's no where to put a header like above the doors, so we got rid of that for more for construction reasons than anything else.
But there will be balconies on these two units.
There will be balconies. Yeah, the lower. I don't know how well you all remember what this is or how it works. It's two. Each side is actually two units. So there's a lower unit and an upper unit, and then they're mirrored to each other.
Yeah, so there's 4 units in the screen here. That's a 2-over-2 stacked.
Mm-hmm. These are the affordable units?
These are the affordables, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it has a balcony, because it's more of a deck than a balcony.
So the first floor unit will have a patio. The second floor unit will have that deck that's shown there.
Correct.
Okay.
What kind of outdoor lighting is there gonna be? Do I see little lanterns on the exterior? Is that all dark compliant?
I'm sorry?
Is that all dark sky compliant lighting?
We're not proposing to make a change to what's previously been approved there. I mean, it's shown on the bottom and top.
At the same time, the dark sky compliance rule is since 2018. So you need to look at, what fixtures you're using. They have to be, code compliant.
We were talking about like a timer or something as well on those.
No, it's just how much, light it's giving off to other than that it's lighting.
And I believe it also has something to do with the color of the light, like not like a super bright blue light.
Understood. We can look into that if we're not familiar with it. It sounds more that maybe is the bulb than the light fixture. The fixture style. Obviously, we're matching what was there already.
And we're also, to the extent possible, I think the light is supposed to like shine downwards, not out or up. So I think you guys definitely need to do some homework on the lighting rules and regulations. And
well, I don't know that they'll get a building department permit without showing it.
Okay.
Well, if anything's gonna be approved, it'll be approved, including dark sky compliant, fixtures. Just so you know.
Understood.
What else you got?
So that's the dual affordable unit, and then there's one that's sort of a hybrid. I'm not sure if that was in the old
It wasn't.
presentation. It
It
was?
wasn't,
It was
was
not.
not.
Okay. All right, so.
Actually, the fifth and sixth units were in the building down below in 40 South Broadway, which you're not addressing.
Got it. That's right, because their site plan's a little bit different, right? Okay, well, so just for your reference, I guess at this point, is the affordable unit same, once again, that window that we changed in the gable now kind of makes more sense when it's next to the main unit type that we're building, and no changes otherwise. So this is where that consistency with the straight, line gables kind of comes into play. You can see this is the same thing that we'll be building across the street, and this is the same thing that's being built next to it, and it allows us to sort of match them together with each other or with something different.
Got it.
A lot more easily.
Yep.
I think I showed you everything. I mean, we already spent a bunch of time on the walkout units, so no surprises there. And obviously, that's not something that was really presented 6 years ago. So now, but the rear is consistent with besides the lower pitch with the main. Here I can actually do this. So on the bottom is the unit that we're building on all the non-walkout lots, and the top is the walkout one. So you can see the roof pitch is different, but otherwise it's the same. That deck is in lieu of a patio. That's the only reason that's there on the walkout units. Everything else is.
And those are not decks down below. Those are actually just
Yeah, there's steps. Yeah.
Just so you don't, no one falls into the steps.
We hope that's the case, right?
What are the,
go ahead.
what's the material on the patio, hello, I'm losing my train of thought here.
The siding?
On this, no, on the
Railings?
what we were just referring to, yeah.
The railings?
Yeah, the railings and are we complying with the, under 4-inch center to center of all that good stuff?
Absolutely. That's definitely not noted here, but it will be in the construction drawings explained, and we'll be compliant with that.
Okay.
What color and material is the siding?
We're not changing the approved color of the siding based on what was previously approved. I think it's cobblestone.
Hardy plank.
Yeah, cobblestone. Thank you.
Same thing with the roofs.
The roof shingle color isn't changing either, correct?
Okay.
What
Yeah, I
color
mean,
is cobblestone?
there's, again, just to, the impetus again here was really the roof height. There were a couple, and I realized that the board here had not seen it, so it may have come out of left field a little bit, right? But there were some minor modifications that were done to allow constructability that kind of Zach talked upon, about one unit being placed to another and making sure those roofs worked and aligned, and unit A could be made with a unit B and so forth. So those changes we're including here, but from a color programming standpoint, we're not proposing any changes.
So I guess, I'm really puzzled that we're approving a modification to a 6-year-old application we approved. I just don't understand the rules of how is this grandfathered in from 6 years ago?
Well, I don't know about any grandfathering. All I know is normally you have like 1 to 2 years to get a project built. But if the building department has sent this to us, it's gotta be in compliance with whatever it is they originally had agreed to. All right.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
I can't speak to that. I mean, there is, again, lots 3 and 4 were built and are, currently standing on the property, and Toll is obviously eager and looking forward to working with the town, or the village, I should say, and and resuming construction here. That's been on hold for several years.
See, I see the need for consistency, but between now and 6 years ago, I'm guessing a lot of the materials have changed. What, like the siding, is the siding the same siding that was on the original 2 units that you're gonna use on the new units?
Yeah, the existing building isn't sided. It's just house wrap at the moment, which we've got to. But yes, it's cobblestone hardy, which hasn't changed, and still our intention to use here.
And those 2 units that were built, they're in good enough shape to just continue to wrap it up and then cover it?
No, there's some revisions that have to be done from a structural and sheathing standpoint that have been submitted to Ed, and he's actually just issued us a building permit for those changes to make sure the integrity and the envelope of the structure is sound.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions, anybody?
Is it clear what we're approving?
No.
I mean, you're looking at it. Look, it's clear to me because I was here in 18. And I remember all the questions that were asked. I think they've answered all the questions that I had as far as whether or not, why certain changes were made. I do know that there was a big issue with the entrance ways of all the units, whether they were covered. And you can see from that drawing, they're still covered. Yeah. I mean, that's the only metal roofing that roofing that I saw on the original project. It's just, we've added other areas of metal roofing.
This on the over the garage was metal.
I'm not so sure that wasn't. I'm not so sure that wasn't there. I think I'm talking about the one that's on the main roofs above.
Right. Yeah, that's new. Right.
Would you say that this development is similar in look and feel to the Toll Brothers development on the river in Terrytown?
No, very different.
Very different. How so?
Those are 3-4 story, flat roof. Townhomes, brick facade that are, anywhere from a 4 to an 8-pack building, high density, alley loaded product. It's not in keeping with the architecture that we're looking on the screen here. Much more urban in feel.
Okay. I think that's a very pretty development. I like that it's sort of in keeping with the historical vibes in the river towns.
Yeah, I do too, but it's just different type of product. I don't know if you may be familiar with our Chappaqua Crossing community, which is being built in infill the Reader's Digest, right, which was developed to evoke the Reader's Digest clock tower building, which is also very different than what we're looking on the screen here right now. But we tend to try and cater the architecture to the community. In this case, this was a previous developer who got site plan and ARB approval that Toll went into contract for a year or so ago. And again, we closed in March, and kind of looking to be consistent with what was previously approved.
Got it.
And one question for you on the south facing units, the one that have 3 stories, rear facing. Was anything discussed with putting any shrubbery or trees, small trees because the biggest complaint I heard when this was being proposed originally was that as you're traveling down Broadway, going north, I say down Broadway, up Broadway, if you look to the left, you won't see anything right now, but you know, when the trees lose their leaves, you will see those, was it 4 buildings? And I just don't know whether or not anybody's mentioned to you that they had originally asked for some landscaping to stop that. No?
I think if you have the old previous approval, maybe page 2, or I can pull it up. But yeah, no, we're well aware of the line of sight from South Broadway. You know, due south of the project, looking north and kind of keeping that aesthetic intact. We're not intending to deviate from the approved landscape plan that was part of the approved site plans. So, you know, that shrubbery and greenery that was previously approved and intended to be planted there is, you know, will remain.
Okay. I'm sure that it was included in the original design. I just wanted to make sure that as far as you know, it wasn't taken out.
No.
Or you'll. All right. Any other questions for anybody?
I don't think so.
Well, you wouldn't because you really weren't involved in the
Right.
original. Neither.
It's a little hard to jump in without any prior knowledge.
Okay. Randy?
No
Okay.
questions.
Okay, I will make a conditional motion to approve based on all of the exterior lighting being dark sky compliant. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You good to go?
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you guys have a great evening. Thank you.
Thanks for your patience taking us through those drawings.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right,
Good
have a
night.
good one.
Bye-bye.
Before we head out of here, I just wanted to make a comment that we appreciate your 2 years of service. We wish it would be longer, but I get it. You gotta take care of those kids.
Yep.
You gotta, you know,
I appreciate you both too.
no, so it's.
That's good working with you.
Yes, it was very nice working with you and I just realized as I mentioned to you that I didn't, I copied Larry and John, but I didn't copy the building department, which I will take that email and just send it to you to make sure, you and Ed, to make sure that you're copied on it. Needless to say, I was going to ask one of the 2 alternates to see if they wanted to become a permanent fixture, but neither of them showed up. One of them, Carnet, she got sick. She got home tonight. So she was all set to go. She's told me, you know, all week or last couple of weeks she was going to be here, but I don't know what happened to Ann.
Well, I'm glad I could make it one last time.
Me too. Otherwise we wouldn't have had this meeting. Okay, any questions, concerns, issues that we need to, okay.
No.
I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.